Who am I talking to?
You'll find out soon enough.
So it took me a while to decide which game to start this channel with. There are just so many to choose from. One thing I knew, that it was going to be from the early 2000s. And since thinking is too hard, I just looked into my GOG library for some inspiration. After a quick search of several hours, I found it. The first Far Cry game. One of my all-time favorites. But first, let's start with a bit of history. It's the year of 2004. An insignificant year for gaming, right? There were not that many interesting releases that year, only titles like Half-Life 2, with its shiny physics engine, Doom 3, with even shinier normal mapping and specular highlighting, and Painkiller, with its skeletons? I know, Painkiller was not one of the big releases of that year, but I played it and I really liked it, so shut up. We will get to it one day. You know, back then, each year we were getting more polygons, more shaders, more story, and still no annoying practices in sight like loot boxes, DLCs and microtransactions. It's the early 2000s and the gaming scene is at its best. And those who think otherwise were either not alive yet or they were still shitting in their diapers. Anyway, a small bunch of developers from Germany, led by Turkish brothers Sevat, Avni and Faruk Yerli, founded a company called Crytek in 1999. They released a tech demo named X-Isle, Dinosaur Island, developed in their own game engine called CryEngine that caught the eye of Nvidia during the 1999's E3. Their demo had unusually far viewing distances than other game engines at that time, plus some cool shader magic. The demo is absolutely not possible to run on a modern system, and I'm not going to break my back over it. I really tried, but it just crashes to my desktop and changes my display resolution to whatever settings I tried to run it with. Now, it definitely looks like crap for today's standards, but back in those ancient times of 20 years ago, when people barely had any electricity and running water, we were amazed. And just so you know, I still had no internet back then, so the only way I could get any information about video games was by word of mouth or gaming magazine like this one, called Level, from the Czech Republic. So, Far Cry was published and released by Ubisoft on March 23, 2004 for Windows. Ubisoft eventually kept the Far Cry license along with the game engine, which spawned many Far Crys for better or worse. Also, some console exclusive games which I never played and I probably never will. Nothing against consoles, but this is a PC gaming channel, comrades, so deal with it. I think my more than 10 years old PS4 sitting in my living room is going to murder me tonight for saying this. Anyway, Crytek later teamed up with Electronic Arts and continued releasing other games, mainly the Crysis series, which I will cover on this channel at some point. I first played Far Cry with an AMD Athlon XP CPU and GeForce FX 5200 something, or whichever other low-end affordable card I had at that time. And the game came on, you know, some comrade gave it to me on a custom-made DVD. From the first time I fired up the game, I was hooked, and soon it became one of my favorite FPS games. Since then, I have played it many times, on all difficulties, including realistic. When it comes to the game difficulty, well, we will get to that later. We will play it on challenging, which is already hard enough, but believe me, this game is difficult, even on easy. And if you are used to playing with regenerating health and manual save system, you are in for a ride of your life. Oh, you were expecting a manual save system and quick saves? You cowards, forget about it. We played with checkpoints, and I must say, this system can be very frustrating, especially towards the end game when you will face strong enemies and die a lot. By the way, the game runs really well on a modern system, at least the GOG version I used. No mods or custom settings were used for this video. I, however, tried a community patch which supposedly enhances the game without any changes to gameplay, and it even adds iron sights to weapons that can be toggled, but I decided to run the vanilla version with all its glory and problems. The game starts with a bombastic fast-paced trailer where our hero Jack Carver is being seen on a boat with a rather skimpily dressed woman called Valerie, who is a reporter that is going to study World War II ruins in Micronesia. So naturally she takes off dressed in only a swimsuit on a jet ski in the middle of the night during a tropical storm with no gear whatsoever because cool trailer. Soon after, Jack's boat gets blown to pieces and he somehow swims to the island when he's sucked into a volcano, then shown surrounded and chased by some sort of monsters while also being shot at by mercenaries. He barely escapes a grenade explosion and we are almost seamlessly thrown into the game. The trailer doesn't really leave much to the imagination, and if this is not enough cheese for you yet, just wait and see how much more you will get later. It's delicious. We start inside an old fort structure in a level called Tutorial. Training. Learn how to climb ladders, crouch, run, and even prone. We can even get a sneak peek at the jungle outside before the actual reveal, before you exit the fort. Also, meet our villain Richard Crow, the leader of mercenaries, being an ass to one of his employees.
Listen, dirtbag! Keep an eye out for some punk in a red Hawaiian shirt. If you see him, call me at once. Am I understood?
Yes, sir!
I'm heading out!
By the way, Jack can absolutely get killed by the very same mercenary who is obviously in a bad mood after the conversation with Crow, since he can kill you without even aiming. What the hell? This is a little preview of the difficulty and occasional jankiness of the game. Get ready, comrades, we are almost out in the open. But before that, we find a conveniently placed cell phone where someone called Doyle is promising to help us.
I know you're there. I've been tracking you since you and Val arrived.
Who are you?
I'm the guy who's going to tell you how to survive. Call me Doyle.
How do I know I can trust you?
Well, for starters, how about the fact that I haven't turned you in? That radio has a bioreader. Since I know you're there, I could have ratted you out already.
Good point. Keep talking.
Grab the pistol, some grenades, and a vest, and finally get outside. Even today, I still get amazed at how good this game looks. At this point, my ancient PC was struggling to run it, but today, you can max it out even on a half-decent machine. Make your way through the first camp where you can find your first assault rifle, M4. That pistol did not last too long, did it? The M4 is going to be your workhorse weapon until you get a better one. But for now, this is your best murder weapon and ammo for it is everywhere. Another weapon you can find here is a machete, the only melee weapon in the game. I did not use it at all because stealth is pretty much impossible. You can sort of stealth play later with another weapon, but for now, forget the stealth. You might as well not pick it up at all. Oh, by the way, the limit of how many weapons you can carry is 4, so later you will be forced to make tough choices. I actually don't mind this limitation because it forces you to select a certain playstyle and also strategize a little in some cases. After all, you are not some sort of a doomslayer carrying 15 weapons. This game is trying to be a bit more realistic. Grab the binoculars and scout the second camp. You will learn that you can tag your enemies and listen to their conversations. Oh, the conversations. The voice acting is so bad and cheesy. It's actually so bad, I absolutely love it.
So we got ourselves an all-new training facility over here.
That's what they say.
How cool is that? You think they'll make a gym with a pool?
A pool? The ocean is right there, you idiot.
You know I don't like the ocean. Fish pee in that, man.
You came all the way to a tropical island and you don't swim in the ocean.
Do you?
Well, no. But I got an excuse. I can't swim at all.
Whatever. I just hope we get a pool this time.
There are many conversations to hear and they change according to the progress of the game and your actions. This is all scripted, of course, but it still puts a smile on my face when the mercenaries are talking about you and your actions. Raid the armory, grab the vehicle, and make your way through the first beach. Now, you're thinking, it's not too bad, where's the difficulty? Then you get to the second beach with 2 vehicles with gunners and a boat that starts spamming you with rockets. You will most likely die here. Make your way to the carrier and end the level.
Damn it! I'm sealed in.
This level starts very linear. By the way, there are levels like this throughout the game. Even though they are not my favorites and sometimes they feel like filler levels, I still think they serve a purpose of breaking the pace so the game doesn't become too repetitive. You will have to learn how to use leaning and take it slowly here. There is no jungle to hide in. Running and gunning will get you killed. Watch the introduction to the mastermind behind this entire establishment, George Krieger.
This archipelago is the ideal location for my research. These islands are isolated from international shipping lanes, so I am free to do my work without interference from the outside world. This work will take time, but a measure of the future of mankind depends on the success of my research here. I will not fail my destiny.
George? Okay, hi George. You absolutely don't look like a typical egomaniac and narcissistic mad scientist. I'm sure your real intentions are purely for the good of mankind. Nice, a new weapon, the P90, a fast-shooting SMG that holds 50 bullets. Great for mid to close range combat, but chews through ammo very quickly and it's hard to find. Make your way to the top of the carrier and get ready for a sort of a boss fight with a helicopter and a bunch of mercenaries. The game developers were aware that this would be difficult and left you with a medpack right before climbing the ladder. Oh, hello there. Grab the boat and get out of there. I let the mercs spot me so they can call for reinforcements.
Get the hell over here! Hurry! We're under attack!
A gunboat shows up and I want to use it. They usually call a helicopter, but in some cases a vehicle filled with mercs, or a gunboat just like now. You can clear the beach slowly or just blast the mercs with the boat's machine gun. But before we do that, let's listen to this conversation. It's one of the funniest ones in the game.
Yeah, everyone's talking about it, but I ain't seen no sign of him yet.
That guy better not be stupid enough to come around here or I'll fix his little red wagon.
You do what?
You heard me. I'll fix his little red wagon.
What are you, like 200 years old? My grandpa talks better trash than that, dude.
Fine, fine. I'll mess him up. I'll kick his ass. I'll tear off his head and drink his fluids. Is that better?
Man, cool just can't be taught.
And now it's time to spread the joy. Raid the camp and find the sniper rifle. You will be forced to drop one of your weapons at this point, unless you did not pick up the machete like I told you so. I told you so. It has a great zoom and it sways according to your stance. I keep it throughout the game. The ammo for this weapon is in low numbers, just like your savings account, so use it wisely. Make your way up the hill, kill the sniper, and forget to pick up his ammo. When you get to the top, you will be ambushed by another helicopter supported by a gunship with pinpoint accuracy spamming you with rockets and a dropship full of mercs inside. So... Now, have a listen to George.
The beta strain of mutagen is more potent than I originally anticipated. The test subjects are demonstrating superhuman qualities, but are somewhat unstable. I am concerned they may become difficult to control. I have taken the precaution of using my own DNA as a carrier for the strain. Perhaps this will give them some primordial instinct linking them to me. Then I should be able to control them. The next test subjects will be ready for incubation soon.
Oh sure, what could go wrong? Destroy the satellite and off to the next level. Here you will experience another ass move where the game throws you into the level, and if you do not hide right away, you will be almost instantly spotted. You can try to kill a couple of mercs with rolling barrels, because all games made in the early 2000s were trying to incorporate some sort of physics, and there it is. your first glider, which becomes a unique way of transportation for the Far Cry franchise. The controls are super simple and it gives you a nice view of the area, but you will not enjoy it for long since yet another helicopter shows up to spoil your joy flight. And check out this ray tracing from 2004, comrades. Make your way up the hill and observe the destroyed satellite from the previous level. A cool touch, making your progress look more seamless.
Okay, I've checked all the barracks and they're clean. There's nowhere that guy can be hiding. That means he must be out in the jungle somewhere.
Well, keep your eyes open. We'll take care of him if he tries to come in here.
Yeah.
Don't worry, boys. I'll see you soon. Clear the camp and meet the Rocket Man. Rocket spamming assholes that are usually placed in elevated places that can spot you from across the map and have seamlessly infinite ammo available. Mine blew himself up. So fuck you. After you make it to the pier and clear the way, you will meet your little helper Doyle.
You must be Jack.
How did you know that?
I've been expecting you.
Who will smuggle you towards your next objective, which is a rather short level, just so you can reach the entrance to the research labs. What kind of research? Oh, I don't know, maybe something about making donuts a healthy food choice? This level is the first one that could have been eliminated. A filler level of sorts. Because you know, comrades, this game is a bit long and consists of a wholesome 20 levels, which could have been easily reduced to 15. I guess the good part is that you will find the only silent weapon in the game here I mentioned earlier, which can be used for, you guessed it, silent takedowns. Say hi to your little quiet friend. It uses the same ammo as P90, it's weak against armor, and to use it as a stealth weapon, you will have to score headshots to kill the mercs before they can alarm the others. It will become quite useless later on when enemies with helmets are introduced. Well, as you make your way in, you'll be introduced to the first mutant friend that looks only slightly worse than a Botox-filled celebrity face.
Whatever that was, I hope it was the only one.
Before we finish here, let's observe a merc that wants to become a ballet dancer. But he's very shy and I could only see him practice on a minimap.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Unfortunately, he will never fulfill his dream. Doyle tells you,
This place is total chaos.
I suspect by destroying the comm center, you caused mayhem throughout all the islands. The Trigens must have taken this opportunity to escape. Fascinating.
so yeah, you knew this was coming.
What the hell is that thing?
It must be a Trigen. Trigens are what Dr. Krieger researches. They're biogenetically engineered primates.
We read you. Hold your position. We have scrambled the team for resistance. Do not engage the Trigens. Repeat, do not engage the Trigens.
Well, good luck with that. Right after I got outside, I tried to blow up the truck, including myself. Get ready to fight the Trigen mutants, who are incredibly agile and powerful. But I just call them what the fuck. They have an unfair range of attack and can take you down in a couple of swings. Go ahead and hate them, just like your boring job. They both deserve it. Make your way to an old fort. Expect some snipers and rocketmen assholes. Whee! What? What the hell is that? Oh, it's you. Wow. Good work, soldier. You got me there for a moment. Another linear level, but you will find the game's shotgun called Jackhammer. Great weapon for close combat. You will be using it for killing Trigens. Obviously a poor choice at long range. It has a great fire rate and unlike your hammer, it can be fully reloaded and ready to go in 2 seconds. You will also find a larger mutant variation, but don't worry comrades, you will not have to fight them.
Whoa! What the heck is that?
What are you seeing?
I have absolutely no idea. But it sure as hell ain't no monkey.
Nah, just kidding. They will soon become your worst nightmare. Jack ends the level like a total badass in a cheesy action flick.
Pilot's dead. Jump!
And some exposition about Valerie being a CIA agent. What a surprise.
Valerie Constantine, CIA.
A pretty good level where the main objective is to find night vision goggles. By the way, mutants cannot swim and die drowning. Sneak your way in like a bastard using the silence weapon.
Stay here! I'll get help!
And grab the night vision goggles. One of the mercs killed himself in the fire, so the other one gets all worked up. Great AI, Far Cry. Before we move on, let me point out that a combination of hiding in the bushes along with using the MP4 silence weapon is the only way to approximate stealth. For me, it's that cat and mouse type of gameplay in the jungle that I really like about Far Cry. I find this to be the most enjoyable way of playing the game. You will notice that the night vision is also a heat vision or something. It does help to see the enemies even if they are behind the foliage, which luckily does not apply to you. Grab the blueprint from a very chill looking dead foreman and finish the level. Starting in a large open area heavily guarded, with the next checkpoint a bit far from where you start. Listen to this conversation. I might not kill this guy.
You've ever wondered about the morality of it all?
Of course not. I do my job and don't ask questions. Isn't that enough?
But some things are just wrong.
What do you mean? I get orders and I follow them. That's what I get paid for. That's what mercenaries do. That's why the world has mercenaries. We get paid to do things that other people won't do. Not to ask questions.
But what if it's really wrong, like really flat out evil? Is it still okay to just take the pay and not ask questions?
Of course it is. That's why they have to pay us. Don't you get it? People are good for free, but they have to be paid to be evil. That's how the world works.
So you're saying that we're evil?
As long as we're on the clock, yes.
Oh, that's okay then. Thanks.
Nah, I killed him. But thank you for giving us that sweet Far Cry dialogue cheese. You can use a zipline to cross the water here. Excuse me, a flying fox? I actually died in this area more times than I should admit, but I think due to the new type of enemies, which are these blue armored fuckers, that if not shot directly in their face, can take a beating to eliminate. Somehow, they remind me of Barney from Half-Life. This is just a taste of new and spongier enemies. But before that, we're introduced to, I assume, scientists who are dressed in protective suits, who are also armed but much easier to dispatch. Now meet the hardest to kill human enemy in the game. Already introduced blue armored elite mercs with riot shields. You can use a shotgun or the P90 if you have it, but they are tough sons of bitches. They can easily take an entire clip to kill. They will drop your next assault rifle, the G36. The damage and reload time is very similar to M4 and it has a scope. But this weapon has something new, a rocket launcher. Can be of use despite the fact you have to reload after every grenade shot. You will be using this weapon for the next few levels, so get friendly with it. Last fight is with a bunch of elite soldiers dropped by helicopter. This part can be quite difficult, so reload all your weapons and get to killing. The mutants are out, and from now on, there are going to be a lot more of them in the game. And not just the monkey brain Trojans, but mutated humans who can use weapons, are faster, stronger, and bigger than you. This was a controversial decision back then, and obviously the idea of adding non-human enemies in the second part of the game was later used in the first Crysis game as well, which was received with the same amount of love. I guess some developers never learn. In my opinion, it does not necessarily make the game worse, and I understand the decision to add different enemies, because fighting soldiers over and over for 20 levels would get very repetitive indeed. But this already difficult game is going to be even more harder from now on. Dear comrades, welcome to the second half of the game. Yes, this is the part where mutants take over, and it starts with a really boring level. So let's get through this. You will learn that crawling through vents is too boring. You will learn that Trojans can follow you into the vents. You will learn again that the Trojans have ridiculous damage and reach. You will learn that there are huge mutants called Fat Boys.
Doyle, these things are huge. What the hell are they?
I've heard some rumors. The mercs call them Fat Boys. Watch out for them. They're heavily armed.
I kind of figured that for myself.
Man, how rude. I'm trying to listen to some exposition here. Would you be so kind and die? Thanks. You will also learn that Trojan's worst nightmare besides water is... shelves? However, there was a part where I did something different. There's a vent, yes, another one, with a ladder inside that leads to the next room where mutants and mercs are fighting. If you go up, you can pick them off from an elevator position, the easy way. But this time I faced him like a man and went down the ladder, which gives you a disadvantaged starting position and puts you right in the middle of the fight. After a few deaths, here's the fight where I killed my first Fat Boy, face to face. Look how much health I ended up with in the end. How is this even possible? Now the mutants are killing anything that moves and our hero finds himself in a level that is truly gigantic and filled with mutants. So many Fat Boys in this level. And it also takes place at night, which is okay since you can use your night goggles to see the muties. Those Fat Boys are really annoying. Not only do they have unlimited rockets and tons of health, but even their fire rate is ridiculously high. However, the rockets are slow moving and they can be dodged. You will also meet these new annoying jumping mutants. Clear the area and decide which way to go. You have a good amount of options to get through this level. I like to start with the glider on top of the hill.
Freeze! Your ass is grass!
Yeah, you're too far, my friend. Bullshit! And now the invincible NPC glitch. You can even see the color of the mutant that indicates that he's supposed to be dead. I did have to reload the checkpoint to fix that. The last obstacle is a handful of shielded elites that will teach you one more thing, and that is that they can take 3 direct hits in their shield with a sniper rifle and still stand. So you reach the archives, and
Val should be somewhere in this complex.
Yeah, but there's not much left of this place.
Then you don't have a lot to search, do you?
get ready for some horror vibes, as the first half of the level is dark hallways, mutants jumping out of corners, and blood everywhere. Almost like playing Doom 3 for a moment. You will meet invisible mutant bastards that can be only seen using the night vision. The best cure for invisibility is a shotgun blast to their face. No wonder you're dead, you idiot! Using a sniper rifle indoors is just dumb, asshole! When you finally get outside, you can overhear Crow talking to Krieger, I assume.
Ah, not now, damn it! What the hell do you want? Yeah, well that's really nice. I want him dead too, you schmuck! Okay, fine, no problem. I'm on my way, asshole.
It's a perfect place for some sniping. Remember when I told you to keep the sniper rifle for the entire game? This is why. Clear the warehouse and end the level. I consider this to be yet another filler level. At this point, the game begins to drag a bit, but do not worry, a big payoff is just around the corner. But for now, we have to go through this one. And hey, why not start with a difficult fight in a narrow hallway with two fat boys? Use the corners and fill them with lead, and don't forget to get stuck on the floor. Oh, hi boys! Ah, look! A fat boy's nursery. Too bad I cannot break them. Unless... Go ahead, Strelok. Now you have to fill up the room with water and swim up the vent. You will end up finding yet another big boy in yet another narrow hallway, and on top of that, it's harder to dodge the rockets because of the water on the floor. So you will almost always get hurt by the splash damage. Finally, meet Valerie, who is fighting mutants. Kill them and learn that
we're being jammed.
Jammed! Jammed. Raspberry.
it's finally here. The payoff I was talking about. My personal favorite level, and I believe the best level of the game. Very open and absolutely huge, even for today's standards. As if the developers knew that the players were already getting tired of the linearity and lack of vitamin D of the previous ones. Right at the start, you are placed quite far from the shore and you can see the first island in the distance. But there are 4 large separate islands. You will also find the best assault rifle here, but we will talk about it when we actually find it. I used the dev mode to fly around a bit, just to show you the scale of this level. And as a bonus, comrades, this level does not have any mutants in it at all. Now, do not celebrate yet. There is a one black sheep here. But for now, let's enjoy the moment, and just like your procrastination, we can ignore it. You can approach this level in several ways, so don't complain about me not doing it the right way. Because just like Frankie said, I did it. I land next to the tank rack to avoid being spotted. Fighting the gunboats from your little inflatable toy boat, it's just like crossing a highway with your eyes closed. You will get yourself killed. Now, why would you try to cross a highway with your eyes closed? I have no idea, but this is the best joke I came up with. Clear the camp, grab the explosives, and I always make sure to get rid of all the gunboats circling the island before moving on. Wow, 2 in 1? I cleared the beach with one of the gunboats and destroyed the first radio tower. Yeah, I'm sure everyone familiar with Far Cry games recognizes this sort of objective. The radio towers. There is a large camp further in that you could skip, but don't do it, and don't forget to make use of the night vision even during the day. In the camp you will find tons of ammo and this baby. It is the best assault rifle in the game. Has a good scope, holds 40 ammunition, and you can shoot 5 grenades before having to reload. Scout the next island where the enemies are a bit better equipped. Expect snipers and a couple of rocketman assholes trying to ruin your tropical adventure. I approach the island from the left side again and make my way up. Man, you have a rocket launcher. What are you doing up here? Destroy the second tower.
Oh yeah, I love the smell of Primal Cord Plus in the morning.
I use the glider to get to the next island. There is a massive open camp area there. More snipers and rocketman assholes waiting for you. Again, your sniper rifle is your best friend here. Destroy the third tower and learn.
Are we finished here?
Hang on a minute. This is strange. The signals are still jammed. Crow must have a backup somewhere. Hold on. Triangulating. There it is, due west of you. They've mounted a mobile backup on a freighter.
Grab one of the vehicles and follow the road. But hang on, don't just arrive there like you own the place. First, snipe the soldiers guarding the place. I use the glider again to approach the boat. I know that I have been boasting a lot about this level, but its name is not related to the amount of boats you can find here. It's all about the boat you're about to board. Let me tell you why. You will experience one of the first really hard parts of the game. So let's go. First, go to the ship's bridge and grab the rocket launcher and all ammunition you can carry. These mercs have a weird taste in women. I will walk you through this one, okay? It worked for me. Doyle instructs you to plant explosives at the front of the ship. You have 25 seconds to get to the back of the ship to avoid any damage from the explosion. Do not run. You will make it there walking just fine. You're gonna need your stamina in a moment. As soon as the explosion goes off, use your binoculars to locate Crow approaching you from a small island and start running back to the ship's bridge. You will barely make it inside. Now the boss fight starts. And on top of that, it is a timed boss fight. Since you blew up the ship, it is sinking and Jack has no time to lose. It took me 9 direct hits. And then Crow, instead of dying, just jumps out of the helicopter and Doyle refuses to kill him and explains that, game padding? Well, besides this difficult last boss fight, this level is amazing. And after that, another filler level. Running after some stupid PDA? Sounds like a pointless and boring fetch quest. Which it is. Not a terrible one though. Half outside, half inside. Get through some good old jungle crawling and reach the entrance of the catacombs. The place is a bit mazy and filled with mutants and nerve gas. You will be fighting the biohazard guards who are surprisingly good at killing you. Even when running. Find the PDA.
Okay, Doyle, I've got the PDA.
And get out of there. Well, hang on. I literally had to run out of there. Another invincible glitch happened, so I made a run for it. And I somehow survived it. We're going to travel by water a lot in this one. Pretty good, even though it's linear. Doyle lets you know that
the mercs are searching the river. Be careful. Some of their best are out there looking for you.
Not sure about that, but there will be a moment when you might think that. Your first boat will not last too long, because you're gonna need a gunboat. Now, meet one of the best ones overseeing the first guard post next to some ruins. It is a super sight, super well positioned, super rocket man asshole that will spam you with rockets and also hates trees. Kill him! I finally managed to destroy one of the reinforcement helicopters. Their best man my ass. Oh yeah, before you reach the uplink, you will finally take out Crow. He's surrounded by his best men who are just waiting to be taken out. Crow himself goes down like a little bitch by a single sniper rifle shot to his ugly mug.
Crow! Come in, Crow! What the devil's going on there? Report! Report!
So you're the famous Dr. Krieger.
Who is this? Who am I talking to?
You'll find out soon enough.
He drops the game's light machine gun. It will become very handy when fighting multiple and armored enemies, which we will do plenty of from now on. Which for some reason is shared with your assault rifles, has a slow reload, but it's really good at killing things. After uploading the PDA, Valerie shows up to find...
Bingo.
Bingo.
Well, it's actually...
This is the location of the facility where they manufacture the mutagen. It even looks like he has an arming sequence for a tactical nuke in case they had to cover their tracks. Thanks, Crow.
And now a mandatory B-movie scene, which in this case with almost naked female. Why is Jack acting as if he did not see her like this before? She left his boat dressed with just a bit more fabric on her. Maybe it's a perfect time to talk about the game's difficulty. And I will start by saying that the game is not that difficult on the large scale of things. Yes, I said it. The game is not as difficult as some say. What I think is the problem is that there are some crazy difficulty spikes throughout the game, like the one we're about to encounter. One moment you are enjoying popping headshots from a cozy bush while getting a suntan, and the next you are forced into a fight with one of the fat boys in a confined space, or having to go through a mandatory turret section with pin-accurate AI. Those moments can be very frustrating indeed, but luckily you can save your game before these fights. Oh shit, you can't. Okay, I admit. That is something that most FPS did not have. A checkpoint system instead of manual saves. You win this one. Repeating the same section over and over is a pain in the ass. Also, the game tends to be more difficult when playing the indoors levels, where you have less cover and strategic opportunities. Remember that moment at the very beginning of the game when AI killed me without even aiming? Yes, another point for the "it's too difficult" crowd. AI is very accurate and Jack himself does not last too long when being shot at. I believe that this game was meant to be played more strategically and slow, and if you think you can just run and gun using circle strafing, this is not the Doom game, comrades. Let's see how long I can last trying to just run into the camp in the first level.
The mercenaries are trained to work together. If you will hurt one,
This long. There is actually an option when selecting the difficulty called AI Auto Balance that supposedly adjusts your game style. There are many discussions online about this feature and people disagree whether it makes the game more difficult or easier. Well, I did not use this option for this playthrough. Yes, the game pace design is inconsistent, which brings us back to the "it's too difficult" problem. Which brings me back to saying again that the game is difficult, but only in certain situations. Just like this one. Well, comrades, we are about to embark on a ride of death and probably the most difficult part of the game. A turret section with Valerie driving the jeep and you handling the gun. You will die here a lot. I mean a lot. I did. Many times. And you know what? After I finally managed to survive this death ride, I did not realize that the game did not save and reloaded the checkpoint to start recording the next section of the game. To my surprise, I had to repeat the ride again. I almost went for cheats, but in the end I just didn't. And did I mention that you only get 6 rockets?
Fuck.
Here is my best attempt.
Let's go!
I'll drive. You handle the gun.
I'm on it.
We've got company. We can't go through that gate. I'll find another route. You.
Fuck you, Valerie.
We're blocked off. Keep it up, Jack. Careful, Jack. We have to get through. It's now or never. Doyle, we're here.
Oof. Okay. Now infiltrate the building and find some 2004 texture quality pizza and Krieger Cola. And also I found Valerie stuck trying to go up the stairs. I tried my best to get her unstuck, but in the end I had to reload the last checkpoint, which apparently gave her extra 20 IQ points, so she finally managed to conquer the stairs. Make your way to the headquarters and find an article about Crytek being struck by meteor. And by the way, don't forget the nuke. Now reach the armory and find the forklift so you and Val can move to the next level.
Come over here. I think I found something.
Your way inside the compound is about as clear as it's going to get. Oh, and one more thing. When that nuke detonates, it could cause all sorts of strange things to happen. What I'm trying to say is that you might be in danger of being affected by the mutagen. You might want to take some precautions.
Precautions? Like not blowing up a nuclear weapon while I'm standing right next to it?
I'm dead serious. You should be able to find a serum used as an inoculation in the compound. They usually keep a good supply there.
Let's prep the nuke, and then we can go grab the serum.
What is this? A bad spy movie? You two are gonna get us all killed!
Alright comrades, the journey is almost over. Another filler level. It's short and linear. You know, even when the wiki page says that this level should not exist or at least be merged with the swamp level. So we're going to do exactly that. No more level this or that. Let's get this done. So be a gentleman and escort Valerie and the nuke into the compound. Expect hallways, elevators, and the toughest elite mercs. And find the serum.
Inject the serum into your neck.
Shooting through walls, aren't we? Ha, that's what you get for being a cheating son of a bitch. Time to blow this place up. And get caught by Krieger, who instead of killing you, throws you into the jungle full of mutants with 1 weapon and 10 bullets.
Nature has failed mankind. Mere humans like you are about to be obsolete. I've only taken a few thousand years of evolution and put it into a test tube. Survival of the fittest. Good luck.
Thanks.
But our hero is not finished yet and makes a run for it. No, really. Just make a run for it. Don't even think about fighting the mutants. Just use the river to survive until the next checkpoint by a crash helicopter.
Oh, at last.
Kill all big boys. You bastards! Oh, and Jack starts hulking.
Doyle, my armor's turning green.
Well, gear up and get ready for yet another death ride. Yes, comrades. Another vehicle section that will test your sanity. If you're up to it, you can try to clear the area on foot, but I don't recommend it. The entrance to the volcano is heavily guarded, but the AI was not very aggressive here. I expected more resistance. Where have I seen these kind of statues before? Oh, I remember. Everywhere while growing up in former Czechoslovakia. Here we are, the last level, which is basically a boss fight because there is no giant mutant or robot to fight here. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. The first room you enter has a bunch of ultra aggressive elites protecting Krieger, and so does the next one where you meet Valerie and Krieger himself.
You alright?
Do I look all right?
I wouldn't worry about it, my dear. You won't live long enough to see what happens next.
Krieger goes down easily, and after killing him, he reveals that the mutagen
can only be administered through subdermal injection.
Yeah, you knew this was coming.
The old man was always one for melodrama. Too bad he had no head for business.
Doyle, you wouldn't.
Of course I would. Working for the government taught me that where there's a weapon, there's money to be made.
Why didn't you just kill Krieger yourself?
The Trigens are fiercely loyal, and you just killed their father. I'd love to see how they take the news, but I've got a super mutagen to sell.
Doyle, unless you give us the antidote, you're not leaving this island alive. Now, I know you won't believe me until I've got a gun pointed at your head, but it's true.
Sorry, Jack, I'm gonna need it. Forgive me if I don't shake your hand.
I'm coming for you, buddy.
Oh yeah, this is my kind of armory. So gear up, comrades. Snipe the jumping mutants and kill the big boys. You can cheese them by staying at the entrance since they do have trouble with the stairs. Now it's time to deal with Doyle, who is hiding on top of the structure, protected by elite mercs. The ending is a bit anticlimactic. You kill Doyle with a single shot to his face. Then he comes back to life to tell you,
"You can't change this. You can't change the future."
Just so you can kill him again.
Stupid bastard.
You escape the island with Valerie and the game ends. This game is a testament to Crytek's vision of pushing technological boundaries for computer graphics because graphically it was really impressive for its time. The inconsistent difficulty in AI along with some bugs can make this experience quite frustrating at times, and I can see that this could discourage many players from even giving this game a try. By the way, there are also tons of mods out there for you to try. Multiplayer, additional levels, texture packs and more. Even projects like Far Cry Return, which promises absolutely new mechanics, new graphics, nixing of all issues in engine, looks like it was written by another comrade, or a total conversion made in CryEngine. So what do you think, comrades? Play it or kill it? For me, the game definitely deserves to be played, even though at times you will feel like killing it. But I think at this point, more than 20 years later, this adds to its charm, and I would not have it any other way. Well, what are you still doing here? Go play it already.